Divya, working as assistant professor in training department at St. Peter's Engineering College. So today in this session, I want to discuss about DC generator under the subject Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering Unit number 3. So mainly today we will discuss what is meant by DC generator, principle of operation, construction, working, classification, and applications. So coming to the introduction. Initially, the electromagnetic generator was invented by a British scientist, namely Michael Faraday, in the year 1831. A DC generator is an electrical device used for engineering electrical energy. The main function of this device is to change the mechanical energy into electrical energy. There are several types of mechanical energy sources available, such as hand cranks, internal combustion engines, water turbines, gas and steam turbines, all these things. So, generator provides power to all the electrical power grids. The reverse function of the generator can be done by an electrical motor, already we discussed. So, the main function of the motor is to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. Motors as well as generators have similar features. So, here the main function of DC generator is to convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So, the device which converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy is called as generator, and there are mainly two types of generator, that is DC generator, the generator which converts the mechanical energy into DC form of electrical energy is called DC generator, and the second one is the AC generator, the generator which converts the mechanical energy into AC form of electrical energy is called as AC generator. So both the generators works on the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction only. As I already said, the Michael Faraday in the year 1831 proposed this Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. That means whenever a conductor experiences a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a mechanical force. That means if you consider an experiment, when you place a coil passing current which is placed to a fixed cardboard, then if you sprinkle some iron pieces, then if the conductor passes current through it, then the iron pieces around the conductor will form a concentric circle lines paths. That shows the parallel path, that is the magnetic field, right? And coming to the construction, already in the DC motors concept, in the DC machine, I explained the construction of DC machine there. Once again, see here, these are the yokes, poles, field winding, armature, and commutator, brushes, and gear bearings. So yoke is this part is called as yoke. Yoke is called as a frame. It provides protection to the rotating and other parts of the machine from the moisture, dust, and it protects the device. So yoke is an iron body which provides a path for the flux passed through it, and it provides a mechanical support for the poles. Materials used for yoke are mainly cast iron, silicon steel, cast steel, and rolled steel, etc. And coming to the next point, that is pole. The pole is like a horseshoe magnet. Pole produce the magnetic flux when the field winding is excited, then only it produces the magnetic flux. So materials used for pole is cast steel and cast iron mainly. Pole is a part on which field winding is wound over. Here on this pole only we have to wound the field winding. And coming to the field winding, this is the series winding and this is the shunt winding. These are the generated poles. Here I considered a north pole. The field winding is also called as exciting winding. Why? Because we have to give excitation by using this winding only, so that we can set this winding as the excitation winding also. And current is passed through the winding in a specific direction to the magnetizing the pole. And the metal is used for the field conductor is copper. And coming to the armature core, this is the armature core. All these rods are parallel to the shaft axis, and armature conductors are placed in these slats. Here we can place the armature conductors in these slots, and armature core provides a low reluctance path to the flux produced by the field winding, and cast steel or cast iron are used for the armature core. Coming to the commutator, commutator converts the alternating EMF generated internally in the DC voltage. That means it collects the current from the armature conductors and passes it to the external load via brush. That means here mainly uh, the power produced is in the form of AC that should be converted into DC. So the commutator does the conversion of AC into DC here. The alternating EMF can be converted into direct EMF, and the brushes collects the direct current. And coming to the rotor is a moving part of a DC generator, as already know. The rotor rotates because the wires and magnetic field of the motor are arranged so that a torque is developed about the rotor axis. And coming to the working of a DC generator, we can see here a conductor frame is placed like this, which is connected to the commutator, brushes, single turn coil. So the DC generator can what can set the working principle, and based on the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, only the DC generator can work when a conductor is located in an unstable magnetic field. An electromagnetic force gets induced within the conductor. The induced EMF magnitude can be measured from the equation of the electromagnetic force of a generator. And if the conductor is present with a closed lane, the current which is induced will flow in the lane. And the generator field coils will generate an electromagnetic field, as well as the armature conductors are turned into a field. So therefore, the electromagnetically induced electromotive force will be generated within the armature conductors only. The path of the induced current will be provided by the Fleming right hand rule. Already in the previous classes, I discussed what is meant by Fleming right hand rule and what is meant by Fleming left hand rule, right? So, the DC generator converts mechanical energy to electrical energy. In this DC generator, the single turn alternator is used, and the coil can rotate in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. The commutator brush is connected to the coil. Here, the commutator brush is connected to the coil. This is the coil. This is connected to that coil. And the commutator is divided into two parts A and B. The coil is suspended between the field poles, and the coil is given the mechanical energy which results in the rotation of it. As the commutator segments A and B, that means the commutator segments A and B. These are the commutator segments A and B. These are connected with the conducting coil AB and CD respectively. They rotate together, due to which the flux is produced, resulting in the generating of electrical current. This is ABCD. These coil terminals are represented as ABCD. So, as the commutator has the property of converting the bidirectional EMF, that is AC into unidirectional EMF. That means it converts the AC into DC. The DC current is generated by the DC generator, which can directly used by the connecting the output across the load, or it can be stored in airtest and can be used later on. So this is about the working of a DC generator. And coming to the DC generator diagram, this is the DC generator intersection diagram. These are the windings. So once again, see the classification here. The generators are classified into separately excited generators and self-excited generators. Again, the self-excited generators are classified into shunt generators series generators and compound generators. The compound generators are classified into cumulative compound generator and differential compound generator. And the cumulative compound generators are classified into long shunt cumulative generator and short shunt cumulative generator. Differential compound generators are classified into long shunt differential generator and short shunt differential generator. So coming to the application, the shunt generators can be used as lightning loads, battery charging devices, etc. Coming to the series generator, they may use as for arc lamps and as constant current generator and as boost on DC generators. The DC series generators may be used, and for separately excited generator, the application of these generators have limitations like because they need a separate excitation for the field winding, and some of the applications are electro refining the materials of the electroplating of the earth, and cumulative compound generators are used for domestic lighting. For energy transmission over a long distance also, these generators can be used. Coming to the differential compound generator, these are important applications in electrical arc welding, because in electrical arc welding we cannot use other type of generators. We have to use this type of differential compound generators only. So this is about DC generators applications. Thank you.